Everybody, Bryan Alvarez here on Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sunday, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern, Saturday mornings with Jim Valley, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 Eastern, Sundays with Andrew Zarian. Yeah, look at that. It's, I just got out of the shower. Hey, what is today? Tuesday? It's Tuesday here on the show. And we got a lot to get into. Lance Storm is joining us here today. And we got a lot to talk about, including Lance has some thoughts on Raw last night and the return of, well, Ron Killings, actually. He'll be the truth Ron Killings, but they did a really interesting thing on the show last night. And I'll give my thoughts since we talked about it with Dave last night, and then we'll hear what Lance has to say about it. But we got that. We've got some ratings notes, everybody's favorite. Not a lot, just how SmackDown did. And we've got NXT coming up tonight. We got another 4 hours of AEW coming up tomorrow. We'll give you the lineup for both of those shows, as well as the King of the Ring tournament and Queen of the Ring tournament. There are a lot of people in the Queen of the Ring, but we're already almost at the semifinals. So we'll talk about that. Plus, NWA has a streaming deal. We'll do the Raw report and so much more. If you'd like to text us here today, 425-780-7566. That is 425-780-7566. So get a hold of us if you have questions for myself or Lance. We got F4WOnline@gmail.com as the email, F4WOnline, Threads, Instagram, and $10 Father's Day cameos, everybody, at Bryan Alvarez on X and Blue Sky. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. What was up with this week? Everyone thinking Monday was Tuesday.
Well,
Everyone?
you, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it happened, it was like I got all these people that were messaging me going, my God, I thought it was Tuesday too today. It was like something happened with like the moon or something, and it caused everybody to think that Monday was Tuesday. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's like, God, am I losing it?
Yes.
Have you ever lost something and gave up all hope before finding it in an obvious place?
Yeah, my mind. I went to go make her the quesadilla, and I opened up the pantry, and there's no tortillas. I looked down on the ground, and there's the package that they used to be in, but there's no tortillas. So I call Hanale over, and she says, well, I didn't know how to close the bag.
Uh-oh.
So I put them all in a box of light bulbs. I said, why did you put them in a box with light bulbs? Swear to God, she goes, if that box is good enough for light bulbs, it's good enough for tortillas. And I said, no, that's not worse. I open the box, these tortillas are hard as a rock.
She is so your daughter.
Crumbling to dust.
It's insane.
God.
I lost my wallet at the Alamo Dome. The next day, I got a call from an usher that he found it. When I met up with him, everything was still in it. He refused to accept any money from me.
Wow.
Wow. I once lost my wallet, El Segundo.
Lantian says Big Dave's sanity.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he found it then. It's right there. It was never lost.
99% of the time, no matter where I park, I always know exactly where it is. But there's always that 1% of the time where is my car?
Dude.
And it's like in a bizarre place. Like, what was going on? All right, Granny, what do we got?
We need to buy you a machine that you speak into, and it converts your voice into text.
Oh, my God.
So you don't have to write it down anymore.
Absolutely not.
And then I think even better, we put that text into a text-to-voice app and have it read her.
Oh, my God.
Whatever. Stacy Keebler, her and Tori had a eggnog fight. Just a minute here.
Okay.
Looks my page.
Then he
I
looks
decided
completely depressed over there.
Take something from down below.
Mind your own business.
They're like,
Ray Kinsella builds a baseball field
Field
on
of
his
Dreams. Kevin Costner.
baseball.
James Earl Jones.
If you build it, they will come.
Iowa.
Oh, all right.
You didn't let me finish the question, Brian.
She's right.
Oh, she yells at me. Alvarez and Lance Storm here. Yes. Lance is joining us here today. We got a lot to talk about. And I guess we'll start with Old Truth. So here's what happened last night. It was bizarre. So they're doing the show, and, they mentioned that Truth is back. They had a big video package at the beginning of the show, recapped everything from the weekend. And then as the show goes on, the announcers are sitting there, and they're going over this or that or whatever. And suddenly, dude comes through the crowd, jumps on the table, he pulls off his mask. It's Truth! Place goes nuts! And he grabs the mic and he says, don't let nobody tell you that you don't matter, that your voice doesn't matter. They heard, they listened, they felt, they understood. I am back because of y'all, he says. They all cheer wildly.
Because of the fans.
Yeah, he was actually...
In a good way for a
Yeah,
change.
for once, yeah. So he said, I'm back for you all. I'm also back for myself. You not only brought Truth back, you got me. He says he's been too forgiving. I feel different. I feel alive. And for all of you who think I'm some sideshow act or gimmick, he pulls out a pair of scissors. And Michael Cole, both announcers back off what's he going to do? Well, he cuts his hair off, cuts off all his dreadlocks. Maybe I should do that. But anyway, he cuts it all off. And then he says, Ron Killings, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Put some respect on my name. And man, I watched this, and I was like, okay, well, the fans cheered. They were happy. Guy's back, making a lot of money. Good for him. Everyone, they had their fans got their voice heard, et cetera, et cetera. But the reason that everybody was really angry that Truth left and was his contract expired and he was not renewed. Everybody was so mad because they like Truth. They like that he's silly. They like that he's a gimmick. They like that he does goofy stuff.
And he's fun.
They weren't upset because, they weren't getting all those great Truth matches. Nothing against the guy, but he barely ever wrestled. And when he did, it was against John Cena, which was no good. He was a better John Cena than John Cena, but it was a short match. They were into this R-Truth gimmick. He got it over. He made a big mistake 10 years ago. He said the wrong city. They gave him the gimmick of being an idiot, and he made more than the most of it, and ended up making 10 years of gigantic money. They let him go. The fans got mad about it. He came back. But then, his first act is to not be that guy anymore? So the only thing I can figure is that he is now, and we talked about this yesterday, he wants to be able to be Ron Killings when this run is over and go out and make a lot of money as Ron Killings that he was in WWE. So there's that aspect of it. But also, I think he wants to be more serious of a character, not just a comedy geek. And I think that what needs to be done is he needs to do some of his old shtick, but now be self-aware. As opposed to before, it was I think he was mostly supposed to be an idiot. I think he was a little bit self-aware here and there. But I think that you can still, as a baby face, you can belittle the heels and make fun of them and trick them and et cetera. But we got to be in on the joke with him. So I presume that's where they're going. We shall see. But it was definitely a very interesting return promo after everything that happened.
Yeah, the dude had the most profitable lemonade stand in history. They gave him a lemon 10, 12 years ago, and the dude made very good lemonade out of it for a lot of years. And that's my concern. It's they really loved. He was the most fun, entertaining comedy segment on the show for a decade. They liked him. They enjoyed it. And you could tell that the audience, whenever he really pushed the R-Truth, I'm angry, put some respect on my name, I'm serious, that the crowd was a little taken aback. And I think it's a gamble, because not only is it not what was over, but it also is much more physically demanding of a guy who, while still looking really young, isn't. I hope it works out for him. And if it is just he wants to try this one time. It actually reminded me, now granted he was a lot younger at the time, but when little Guido wanted out of the FBI, Tracy and everybody, me included, thought he was crazy because he had a guaranteed easy over comedy gimmick, and Guido wanted to be the Sicilian shooter. And Paul told him, it's like, if you want to switch, you can, but if it doesn't work, you're gone. And Guido made it work, proved me wrong, and earned a lot of respect from me to Guido because he did it the way he wanted to do it.
Brother, I got a better one for you that you can talk all about. When Santana was part of Santana and Ortiz as a tag team in AEW, they were a great tag team, and of the two, the guy that had all of the charisma in the tag team was not Santana. And Santana decided, I want to go off on my own and be a top single star. And hey, listen, I'd tell him right now, when he decided he wanted to do that, I was like, brother, I've seen this happen 1,000 times, and like it never works. Like, that's all great and all. It's good to have a goal, but like, brother, that ain't happening. And you know what? This guy proved me wrong. He is a singles star. He stepped foot into NXT, having never been on the show before. And in one promo, like, that audience saw him as something special. And good for that guy. People can do it.
Yeah, it's a gamble. You're betting on yourself. And again, I hope it works out for Truth. I've always liked the guy. Never actually worked with him, I don't believe. But yeah, it is a gamble, though. And a brave gamble when you consider the age and so forth. It would certainly be easier for him to ride it out with comedy. I kind of joked, I even posted online that to me the way they should have brought him back was Hunter walking backstage looking for him. No one's seen him. And he picks up his phone and calls you. He's like, Ron, where are you? Why aren't you at work? He's like, what do you mean I fired you? I didn't fire you. What are you talking about? And you see Ciampa in the background giggling. And it turns out that Ron again mistook Ciampa for Triple H, and Ciampa ribbed him and fired him when he wasn't really supposed to be fired.
Well, we'll talk the rest about Raw here in a little while, but we got a couple of news notes to get into. NXT is tonight. Oba Femi versus Jasper Troy. The winner of LFG is already getting his title match. That's coming up tonight. They've probably practiced it for like 4 straight weeks, so I expect it to be pretty good. We've got Ethan Page against Sean Legacy, which should be a really good match because Sean Legacy is awesome, and Ethan Page can have a good match with literally anybody, I think, at this point. We've got the Culling in action. Set your DVRs for that one. Tony D and Luca Crucifino versus Tyson and Tyreek. And then tomorrow is a 4-hour AEW show, which is in Portland. I kind of waffled back and forth on going, but I'm not driving 3.5 hours down to watch a 4-hour show and drive 3.5 hours back to then do probably a 2.5 hour show with Dave.
That's a big
That's not
day.
happening. But they are coming to Kent, so I will be going to those shows in about 2 weeks. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland, MJF, Lashley, and Shelton versus Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Commander. MJF in the match. Okada versus Kenny Omega, contract signing. Kyle Fletcher versus Anthony Bowens. Tony Storm, Julia Hart with Mercedes on commentary, or eating steak and drinking wine. I guess we'll find out. We've got Tekla versus Queen Aminata. After Queen Aminata tried to squish the spider with a shoe. That's actually what happened.
Watch the shoe.
And Mystico will be in action, I guess, to tease that Mystico MJF match for Arena Mexico that they have been teasing. So that's the lineup for the next 2 days of television. And when we come back from the break, we got some other news to talk about, including some injury updates and more. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Jared, put old Granny on. Let's see what she's up to. Oh, man, she's doing something. Oh, Lord.
She's trying to plug in the box, Brian.
Granny can't connect. And so I call her on the phone, and she alerts us that she apparently knocked the box off her desk. Whatever's happening right there, that doesn't look good. She knocked down the camera now? What's going on?
She's got a hold of the camera, I think.
She's okay. Well, we've got the ceiling at least. There's the box. Hey, we got the box, Jared. Does it look like it's plugged in?
No.
It's definitely not on.
No.
Okay. That's her back, I believe. She appears to be doing something.
Apparently yoga.
That's her hair. Are we sure that's not Ric Flair? Now she's got to find the phone, too.
Think anyone's going to still subscribe after the show?
I hope we get a bunch of video signups. This is interesting.
Is it now?
Oh, man, we can almost see the front of the tie line to see if it's on. But we can't. We can only see the side of it, as well as a flashlight and dice. I don't know why there are dice there.
Well, you never know when you're going to play dice in the dark.
She's still doing something.
That's good radio, boss.
Show that again, what's she doing?
You know what's a good show is the Big Vinny V show.
Is it?
Or reviewed Poet Armenia 2025.
She might be tying her shoe or something.
Ed and
down
San
there.
Antonio show.
Granny is furiously doing something. It's possible that we should sabotage the box every week.
No!
So that she can, get up and down, like Roddy Piper once said. No, I know. I'm calling you. Phone. I'm calling you. Oh, my God. How are you?
I'm at Sausage. Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good. That sounded very sincere.
Stunning review. Well,
Anyway.
can we please make that into a commercial, Jared, for Vinny's show? Apple Podcast carries every podcast that we produce.
Oh, I want to tell Vinny I watched his show today.
Thank you, Granny. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Good.
So check it out, f4wonline.com/Apple. Try your free trial today. What is happening here? Yes, Granny?
I don't care if it's show or what. My computer went out and I can't fix it.
Okay. Jared, can you fix Granny's computer?
But he tried to get a pin.
I am Steve.
Brian, what are you doing?
Now my child is sending me a voice message.
Steel chicken jockey.
Dear God, I don't know why I go on the chat during the break. Jiminy Christmas. People are arguing about truth, and it's like the WWE audience only wants goofy comedy. It's like, what are we talking about here? For the last 5 years, every major money program that WWE has done has been built around serious, like it's not built around comedy. The Bloodline, CM Punk and Drew and Cody, every WrestleMania main event, the top matches with all the women, none of these are built around comedy. This idea that WWE fans only want ha-ha. What are we talking about here? Every wrestling fan, it doesn't matter if it's New Japan. Who's one of the most popular wrestlers in New Japan? Yano? He is, okay? Does that mean that New Japan fans only care about the ha-ha because they love Yano and he's one of the most over guys when he comes out and does his shtick? No. Who got over? Which people, like, with not being booked, organically got over in AEW? Comedy people. The Outrunners. Timeless Tony Storm. Max and Adam Cole.
Scissor Me Daddy.
Harley and her puppet. Like, every single one of these, Orange Cassidy, every single one of these was goofy ha-ha. And the AEW fans, yes, they also love serious programs. They also love good wrestling. And they love wacky comedy. They love it in WWE. They love it in AEW. They love it in New Japan. You could probably rattle off a bunch of people in Santino!
I was gonna
Jiminy
say.
Christmas! Stop acting like WWE is some island and its fans are weird. Their fans are exactly like AEW fans. They're exactly like New Japan fans. Wrestling fans, they want a mix of everything. They want some goofy comedy. They want some serious action. They want some big stars. They want some serious programs. They want some comedy programs. They want it all. Every fan does, okay? If you like the ha-ha in one promotion better than another, that's fine, okay? That's fine. But don't act like, oh, well, the promotion, I don't do wacky comedy that the fans get into. Of course they do. Holy smokes. What are we doing here?
Yeah. My point was more truth, I think, he was one of the most entertaining comical portions of the show. Being one of the most serious athletic parts of the show is going to be a tougher hill for him, so I wish him luck.
Zoe Stark, she tore everything, basically. ACL, MCL, and meniscus. Scheduled 2-hour surgery, took 3.5 hours. And it says what's going to be next. Find out Monday, June 16th. So I don't know if she's going to be on TV or if she'll just have an announcement. But holy smokes, that sucks. Best of luck to her. Probably at least a year out. And there you go. We've got the women's and the men's King and Queen of the Ring tournaments. So they put these... First, they just put up the brackets. And, like, you look at the brackets and you're like, oh, my God. This could be like
huge.
a 9-month tournament. Then you realize, no, every first-round match is a 4-way, and then the semifinals, it's singles matches, and the finals are a singles match. So the women's bracket, we had Rhea, Kyrie, Liv, and Roxanne in one match, which was won by Roxanne. The winner of that faces the winner of Jade, Mitchin, Piper, and Nia Jax. Then we've got Charlotte, Alexa, Chelsea, and Candice facing the winner of Stephanie, Raquel, Ivy, and Asuka. Asuka's back. So, I don't know, man. That's a lot of people. And then for the men, we've got Sammy, Penta, Braun, and Dom, which was won by Sammy. The winner of that faces the winner of Randy, LA Knight, Alistair, and Carmelo. On the other side, we got Cody, Damian, Andrade, and Shinsuke. And the winner of that faces Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson, or a mystery competitor. So, you know, Dave, he had a comment about this last night. And I would say that I agree and I also disagree, okay? Yes, it's possible.
It's par for the course with you.
So what he said was, you know, I don't like these tournaments where one of the rounds is a bunch of 4-way matches because, like, a tournament should be all singles matches. And when you open with all 4-way matches, what you're essentially doing is, you know, you're making sure that the least over person always gets pinned or whatever. You don't have to beat top stars. And, you know, he's right to an extent, but let me tell you something. Let me tell you what I like about this tournament, actually. I agree that I would prefer if it were just a longer tournament with more singles matches. But by doing these 4-ways, I mean, they have put, like, a lot of big names in this tournament. And one of the complaints I've had about AEW tournaments is they'll do this big tournament, and it's like, it's 8 people you know have no chance of winning, and then, like, maybe 2 people that do have a chance of winning, and they end up in the finals. It's like, it's very, very predictable. They don't want to beat any big stars, so it's like, well, why isn't Will Ospreay in the tournament? Why isn't Kenny Omega in the tournament? Whatever. You cannot say this about this tournament. I mean, you've got Cody in the tournament, and LA, and Randy, and Sam. I mean, you've got, like, a lot of big stars on both sides for the men and the women. And yes, we had a 4-way last night, and they did pin Kairi Sane. And I guess you could say that she was the weakest person in the match, but I mean, she should have been on like a 4-show win streak after returning. And the only reason she wasn't is because Zoe Stark destroyed her knee and they had to have Kairi do a job she wasn't supposed to do. So, they're in the matches, they're not these like the old school, when Vince was around, it'd be like, we're doing a King of the Ring. These round 1 matches, 3 minutes with a bad finish. This round 2 match, 6 minutes with a bad. I mean, they had long matches on Raw, good matches, and I like that. I'd rather have that in a tournament than, we're going to have a 16-person tournament or whatever. All the first round matches are going to be geeks. They're all going to be 3-minute matches. I prefer this, to be honest.
I've always had an issue. It's like it's supposed to be a singles tournament and a single elimination tournament. You should have to be eliminated to be out of the tournament. That's the whole point to doing these tournaments. When you do the 4-way, you've got 3 times 4. You've got 12 people that were in this tournament that never lost to be eliminated. So to me, from a sports standpoint, it just invalidates the tournament. You don't do a free throw contest, but then have a 3-way one-on-one qualifier to get into a free throw contest. It's like, what are we trying to determine here? The best singles wrestler that has to be pinned in a singles match to win this tournament? Or is it someone who can, due to outside interference and stealing a pinfall, eliminate 3 other people from it? I just, from a pure sports standpoint, I don't like it. And in a lot of ways, too, by having 4 ways in the openers, the opening round is the faster, more exciting paced action than the rest of the tournament. I'm against it.
Well, I'm not going to argue any of that, but I will say that there is an alternate way they could have done this that you also would have hated, which is the 4 ways would have been qualifiers for the tournament. And then you would have said, how do you have qualifiers for a tournament? It's just the first round. Well, that's what they did here. It's just the first round. Anyway, we'll talk about Raw in a moment here. SmackDown on Friday, 1.4 million viewers, up 3% from the week prior. 0.42 and 18-49, which was up 23% from last week. The biggest number they have done since the show after WrestleMania, actually. And they had the College Football World Series and some other shows as well. So a good number for SmackDown. And we'll see how the shows do. Wednesday is going to be the one I'm looking at. Golly.
The second 4-hour block.
That first 4-hour block, guys, I told you last week, it did really well. And, they're being paid to do well, okay? They're not being paid to do poorly. And if WBD is moving them around different times, different places, different slots, and it turns out that a 4-hour block is what's doing the best, that could end up a permanent 4-hour block. So, first week could have been an aberration. We're going to find out this week. And then we'll move forward, I guess. That's a long block.
It's a long show in the middle of the week.
Yeah.
At least you're West Coast.
It went 3.5 hours before it hit the average for that time slot. 3.5 hours it did.
Yeah, it did really well. But,
yeah. And they even had a bigger lead-in than usual. Like, people were excited about this 4-hour show. So, and hey, you know what? I'll say this. I don't want it to be 4 hours. But if it takes a 4-hour show for them to advertise 7 things in advance, maybe it's not the worst thing. I know what's going on tomorrow. Like, hey, I live close enough I could drive, okay? So now my decision is based on, well, how much, is a 3-hour, blah, 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 blah. But it's not based on, I don't know what's going to be on the show. I know what's going to be on the show. I've had the lineup for days now. So that's good. That's a big positive. You hear me? All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Lance saw the show. And we should probably talk a little bit about that TNA pay-per-view before we go as well. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Okay, can everyone hear it?
Yeah.
There's a mystery bell at Granny's house. She can't hear it. Take off your headphones for a second.
I had them on wrong anyway.
Okay.
I can't get them on right. What?
Take them off and listen.
You have in your elbow?
Is the fan on a computer?
Nothing.
All right. Well, this is going to be an exciting show.
Gonna have bells ringing through the whole thing, and it's every week. It's got to be me.
Do you have a neighbor that's an ice cream man
No,
practicing out there?
I got a neighbor that smokes marijuana.
I'm sure you do. I guess
Whatever that noise is, I mean, it's still going.
Yeah, it's not going to stop, dude.
Brian, do you want me to get off here and go see if open the door and see if there's anything out there?
You think something's out the front door?
Is he ringing the bell the entire time?
No, Granny, you don't
Let
need
me
to-
in! Let me
it's
in!
Fine, it's fine.
If it's death, don't open the door.
Thank you, Craig. This person thinks it's a stove timer.
Have you burned the roast?
No, I don't have a stove. You want me to just get off here?
No. We're going to barrel through it.
I'd love it.
You're not even doing anything. Granny, Nick says that you've got an old-fashioned analog alarm clock in Terry's bedroom.
I don't know. I got a new alarm clock, battery operated. Is that what she meant?
Well, whatever it is, it's going haywire right now.
Oh, it might be my alarm,
Do you think?
but it's way back in the bedroom.
Don't worry about it right now. But when the show's over, you might want to go...
That's what it is.
Okay.
Solve the mystery.
Is there a reason you didn't turn it off when it started ringing?
Well, I wasn't in there. I didn't.
Duh.
I took a nap. I took a nap and set the alarm. I thought I shut it off, but I probably didn't.
No.
You probably didn't.
That's life.
I would say with a good deal of certainty that you didn't turn it off.
Brian, that's life around here.
Yeah, I'm well aware. I do the show with Dave, too.
Say,
Hear all sorts of things in the background.
did I do that? You know,
Yeah, you did do that.
or I thought I did that, but I didn't.
in there.
I wake up and I see lights on, and I say, I didn't turn those lights on. What's going on?
Maybe the place is haunted.
Could be.
Okay.
It's my brain that's haunted.
Well, I hope not. Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. Back here on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. All right. How was that app special?
It was quite good.
Could
Trick
not
William-
believe with my own eyes I watched The Drifter versus Trick Williams for the TNA title in the main event.
Yes, and Trick is still our world champion.
Yes, he is.
And Santino Marella is our undisputed single director of authority in charge of TNA as he defeated that dastardly Robert Stone.
That dastardly. That's a good word. Dastardly. Well, you can check it out on TNA Plus, right?
Yes, sir. it
TNA
is there.
Plus. If you subscribe to the main gimmick, you can get those app specials for free, right?
Yes, sir, you can.
Yeah. All right, this Raw show opened up with John Cena coming out. And he got loud "Let's Go Cena" chants, but less loud "Cena sucks" chants. And it was evidence on TV, and I heard it from people that were in the building. I don't think this is going to be difficult to turn him back babyface. I think deep down, everybody wants it, but they shot the angle, and maybe it'll go through SummerSlam, but golly, this can't possibly go through December. There's just no way. He did the same because of the fans gimmick, but at least this time he was mad about something new, which is that they got Truth back. And he talked about how we're down to 19 dates Don't waste your voice. It's my farewell tour, he says. So out comes CM Punk. And CM Punk did the promo about how he's not defending the establishment, not standing up for TKO or defending billionaires. Brother, he's here for the people. And the people want that title back. And he wants a shot at John Cena. And John Cena says, well, if you want a match like that, you got to follow me to Saudi Arabia. Night of Champions. The ball's in your court, hero. You want a title match? It's going to be at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And, last night, I don't know what Dave was talking about. He was trying to this was not about Punk always talking about how he didn't want to go to Saudi and how Cena is a heel was basically saying the only way you're getting this shot for the people is to go to Saudi. But, that's absolutely what this was. I mean, are you kidding me? He literally said, if you want it, it's in Saudi. Balls in your court, hero. The idea here is that Punk doesn't want to go, but he has to for you people. They didn't say that, but, how could you watch this and not see that that's what the story was here? So, Seth's music hit, and he came out and looked at everybody with the briefcase, and the match is on. CM Punk's going to Saudi Arabia. After a very, very famous tweet to Miz in 2020 that has long since been deleted, but you can find it on the internet.
Still making the rounds.
And
I saw
I
a
can't
bunch of
read
reposting.
it here. Yes.
No, you cannot.
Yeah.
I do find it interesting, and I don't know if they realize they're doing it, but the story of this, Punk very clearly said that title changes you and makes you a bad person, and it even made him a bad person, but he's willing to sacrifice for the people. And Gunther Jay's storyline is you have to be selfish and a bad person to be champion. It's like, what does that say about all the babyface champions in the world or this industry if you either have to be a horrible person to be world champ, or if you're a good person, being world champ will change you and make you a horrible person?
Well, technically, not everybody says that. I mean...
But that's the current storyline with both world titles.
Kind of. The Gunther one is slightly different, okay? The Gunther one is slightly different. To Gunther, the title means everything to him. And so everything he does, he's only thinking about the championship. Whereas Jay is supposed to be the champion, but all he thinks about is other people. So it's not so much that you have to be a bad person.
You have to be selfish.
But you have to be thinking
That's not
about
a good
the
quality,
belt.
Brian.
Well, it is when the belt is the most important thing in your life. When the mat is sacred. Anyway, who cares? Chad Gable faced AJ Styles. And last week, El Grande Americano loaded his mask and pinned AJ. This week, Chad Gable lost. He was hit with the Styles Clash and pinned.
Clean finish.
The storyline, which I can't figure out where they're going here, but it's not by accident. Chad Gable always loses, but El Grande Americano always wins, except for Money in the Bank, but that was multi-person. But in singles matches, you can't beat El Grande, but in singles matches, Chad can't win. So it is they're going somewhere with this, but I haven't figured out where.
Assuming it's the same person.
Roxanne and Liv are still having issues, which leads to a four-way. Liv, Roxanne, Rhea, and Kyrie, Queen of the Ring match. Kyrie was doing the job. This is actually very much like an AEW match. The person who was doing the job, everyone else spent the entire match making look great. And then in the end, Kyrie, Liv and Roxanne, they don't like each other. Mostly Liv doesn't like Roxanne. But they worked together, and they actually were a successful team. And then at the end, Kyrie hit the big elbow on Liv. Roxanne broke up the pin. She saved Liv, but in saving her, she got the pin and won the match. So now Liv is out of the Queen of the Ring tournament. So I thought this finish was awesome because Liv is furious that Roxanne won. But Roxanne is flat out saying, I saved you. You were going to get pinned. I just saved you. I happened to win, but I saved you. And so the dissension continues.
This could be a fun tag partners that don't get along tag team, much like Chris Candido and I. And I thought they told a really good story in this match with it, yes.
This person goes, Sane become a jobber. Did you not listen to me a second ago? She's won every single match since she came back. The only one she didn't win, she was not supposed to lose, but someone destroyed their knee and they had to call an audible. So no, she is not a jobber. I'm sorry. We had Becky passing Waller in Theory, who's a 16-month breakup. Continues. 16 months, dude. Then we had a Nikki Bella video package. She met with Maxine and Natty, Io as well. Becky came out for a promo. She should be happy, she says, but that bird lady, Lyra, was supposed to raise her hand, but instead she almost dislocated her shoulder and tried to kill her. She wants her to come out and do it right. So Lyra comes down the ramp, but Bayley flies in, who Becky had attacked prior to WrestleMania. Becky has been out for 2 months with a fake injury.
Bayley.
She had 2 months for the fake injury. She has now returned. She attacked Becky. Becky escaped and ran through the crowd after Lyra threw her back into the ring. A lot of Beckys and Baileys, and I got confused.
Bronsons and Bronze and...
Bronsons, and there you go. Announcers were going over what happened when we had the Truth segment, which we talked about earlier. Then we had the further adventures of Roxanne and Liv, and Finn is just delighted. We had Braun Breaker, Penta, Sammy, and Dom in a King of the Ring match. And in the ring, very, very good match. There was a spot with Dom and Sammy that maybe if you're not a worker, you didn't notice it, but they have an idea. And, I think they eventually did what they wanted to do, but it was a massive struggle. And Sammy is furiously trying to get Dom on the same page. And I don't know what the heck happened, but they eventually pulled it off. It was he went for the Blue Thunder, and then Dom countered into 3 Amigos, but Sammy countered the third one into another Blue Thunder. They got it in the end, so good for them. And then finally, LA Knight shows up, and he lays out Braun with the BFT, because there had been a deal with Braun in LA on SmackDown. Sammy hit the Exploder kick, got the pin. He's in the King of the Ring. Very good match. I have one complaint about this match. And it's not...
Another interference finish?
No, it actually irritates me way more than that. So, there's 2 options when you are a wrestling promoter when it comes to referees. They either do what you want them to do, or they call it like it's a shoot, and if something goes wrong, whatever, okay? There's pros and cons to each. But golly, they're doing boom, boom, big spot, near fall, cradle. And then Penta hits the arm breaker on Sammy. He hits Sammy with the Made in Japan. And Dom flies in with a crucifix to try to steal the pin. And the shoulder's not perfectly down. So this ref has to be a hard ass. And he's like, nope, get that shoulder down. Get that. And finally Dom just gives up. He's like, screw it. And he just lets go to the next spot. I was like, I get it and all. But we couldn't see that the shoulder wasn't down. And that just, the momentum of these near falls, it just grinds to a halt. It just, God, I hate that. Anyway.
It was one of those situations where they were fighting so hard to get it. I'm like, this has to be the finish.
Nope.
And then when Dom gave up on it, I'm like, all right, let's see what they come up with. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't the finish. Wouldn't have been the end of the world to make a quick 2 and kick out, but hey.
And we had a segment with Nikki Bella. She's interrupted by Liv, who is unhappy that Nikki hasn't put her over hard enough. And so they go back and forth. Liv makes a comment about how, what did she say? Made a comment about, oh yeah, I've got everything you don't. Respect a championship and a man. Not exactly sure that one should have been brought up, but she did. And then Nikki said, I got it, you're angry, but what about your man? Who does he belong to, you or Roxanne? So they get all upset, and then Liv makes some comment about how Nikki will never be anything more than a reality show champion. And Nikki gets back in the ring. Liv immediately lays her out with the Oblivion. And gets the pin. A lot of people wondering if she's going to main event Evolution. I don't think she should walk right in and main event Evolution. I wouldn't do that. But, I mean, they very clearly were talking about championships and tags. And if we're being honest, Liv and Raquel have done nothing as tag team champions. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Nikki and Brie come back and beat Liv and Raquel for the tag team titles and then put over another team after a month or two. But, yeah. Jay and Gunther for the world title was the main event. And I was told in the afternoon, I tweeted it out to my ex-subscribers. I did not know the finish of this match. But I was told, what was the exact term that I was given? Something like, very interesting finish planned for the main event. And so I did not, I didn't know. And I didn't get it spoiled for me. Very interesting finish for the main was what I was told. So, I was...
It was clean. That's interesting.
Well, I was watching it, and I was like, what's this very interesting finish? Is Goldberg going to run in to set up the match with Gunther? Is there going to be interference? That wouldn't be that unusual. And the unusual finish was no interference, no cheating.
Straight up.
Gunther beat this dude clean in the middle with a choke. And I was definitely surprised. It was definitely interesting. But, remember when the Outrunners were really getting over? I'll talk about this after the break. Observer Live. Just a quick note before this free video. If you click like and subscribe, I'd be very thankful. Granny, what have you got today?
Okay, everybody be quiet, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Google, tell us a joke.
What's the most musical part of a turkey? The drumsticks.
Ba-da-cha.
Hey, Google, you suck.
Well, I am still learning. What should we fix?
The guilt in the response.
Hey, Google, that's enough. Hey, Google.
Shut your hole.
Hey, Google.
Hi there, I'm listening.
Oh,
How
jeez.
can I help today?
Hey, Google. Shut up.
How can I be of service?
No, that won't quit.
God.
Hey, Google. No more. Stop.
This is how the war with the robots begins.
Name the hip hop group that asked the question, are you down with OPP in 1992?
Granny, I will pay you $100 to read that again, please.
Yeah, can you read more?
Name the hip hop group that asked the question, are you down with O period, P period, P period in
She
1992?
somehow made it better. Oh, period. P
Stop the show
period.
now. We have peaked.
P period.
Please send those edits to Brian's email.
Are you down with O period, P period, P period? On the show The Big Bang Theory, Leonard and Sheldon are both physicists. What is there? At what?
What just happened right there?
Physicist,
Yes.
Physicists?
Yes.
Yeah. I lost my track.
you lost your crack.
You were at Sisyphus.
In what city was Nipar
Brooks.
Shakur shot and killed?
Excuse me, say that again.
In what city was Tupac?
Two-pack. Vegas.
Vegas Strip.
Yep.
Join us!
Thank you.
Yeah, we got a trip to the Vegas Strip, by
Yeah.
the way.
You can get shot too.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Google, take a nap. Hey, Google, wake up. Hey, Google, are you awake?
Here's a YouTube music station called Are You Awake?
Hey, Google, stop.
Ay, ay, ay. Back here on the show. Hey, remember when those outrunners were like starting to get over?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, put the titles on them. And then, they didn't put the titles on them. And then, about 2 months later, they really cooled off. And everybody was like, see, they shouldn't have put the titles on them. So I was like, no, actually, they should have put the titles on them. Because when an act is getting over, and, like, you could put the titles on them. If they cool off, you just take the titles off of them. Like, I know some people wanted more out of Jay's run, okay? But, like, they made him the champion. He clearly wasn't going to be like a giant business mover. Or actually, the more accurate thing is he didn't need the championship. You think people are going to buy less of his merch? You don't think they're going to yeet for like an hour next week on every show that he goes to? He doesn't need to be the champion. The people wanted it. You built it up for 3 months. You gave it to him at WrestleMania. He got a run out of it. He got some successful title defenses. And it's time to move to the next thing. And that's okay. That's okay.
What's the expression?
It's fake.
Don't cry that it's over. Be glad that it happened.
Exactly. It's fake. So anyway, that was that. Hey, this Friday, it'll be Fun Friday, Lance and I. So you're welcome to send in questions on that day. I'll give you the number again. We have not done text message in a long time. There's just too much to talk about. But we'll do those Friday and maybe phone calls as well. But I will be back tomorrow with Filthy Tom, unless I decide at the last second to go to Portland. So that's that. Later on tonight, the Brian and Vinny and Granny and Craig show. No Sean, he's covering a big story for the local news. But we have got Mid-South Season 6, Episode 27, which includes Magnum TA posing seductively on a motorcycle. So check it out. And that's it. We'll talk to you next time, Wrestling Observer Live.